What is joy? What does it look like, feel like, sound like, smell like, taste like? Can you touch it? Can you hold it in your hands? Tap it with sticky fingers? Caress it with hands made gentle by grace? Can you hold it on your tongue? Taste its sweet tartness, or does it melt like ice cream in August? Does it sound like laughter or a scream of delight, a moan of pleasure, a moment to measure the decibels of divine intervention? Can I mention the pain, or does joy flee on bare feet that cannot bear the heat of grief? What is joy? Is it like art? I don't know art, but I know what I like. Is it like obscenity? I don't know how to define it, but I know it when I see it. Is it like music? I don't know how to love you, and yet I do. What is joy? And does it make you leap, swing, stroll, or dance? It doesn't make me dance. I was taught not to dance. Dancing is dangerous. Dancing is hot bodies too close for comfort, for Christians comfortable with restrictions. But David danced. King David danced. The Ark of the Covenant, the symbol of the presence of God, was back in their midst, and so he danced before the Lord with all his might. But not me. For years I danced only in the mist, in the shadows, so far at the edge that no one would notice, or so deep in the crowd that no one would see. On life's dance floor I danced without joy for too long, far too long. I'm not alone in my dancelessness. I know some of you rarely dance, or barely dance, afraid of being thought a fool by the Michaels of this world who stand in judgment of those who dare. You're afraid to live fully, to follow your dreams. Afraid of who do you think you are to dream so big, to fly so far and high? But that's just doubt talking, fear walking the low road of shame and worthlessness, the well-traveled path, all footprints and no grass, the path of least resistance to status quo. But that's just life. And this is church. And everybody knows church has nothing to do with real life. Real life is work or no work. Real life is overdrawn notices and never noticing the sunset because you're too busy hoping the stain won't set from the lunch you spilled on your best shirt. That's life. Church? Church is hymns, which are songs you wouldn't sing anywhere else. Church is reading from a book you wouldn't read anywhere else. Church is praying, which you wouldn't do anywhere else unless you're in trouble. Church has nothing to do with real life. Or so they say. But those hymns we wouldn't sing anywhere else stick in our souls with their amazing grace. And that book we wouldn't read anywhere else is there with its promises when all our others have been broken. And those prayers we wouldn't say anywhere else linger on our tongue like bread and wine. Church is real life. Church is both more real and more full of life than what we usually call life. Because church is where we find meaning. Church is where our spirits connect and soar and dance. As a wise man once said, we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. As spiritual beings, we seek meaning. We seek meaning in the meal that unites us. Yet every meal is sacred if we make it so. We seek the waters of baptism to claim us. Yet every splash is sacred if we let our souls get drenched. Life itself is a sacrament, a means of grace, a path of joy. What is joy? What does it look like, feel like, sound like, smell like, taste like? It looks like belonging. It feels like grace. It sounds like our favorite song being sung by people we love. It smells like bread given for you. It tastes like the cup that we all can share. And it makes us dance. It makes our spirits dance. This is not the dance I spoke of before, the living life fully and dreaming big kind of dance. This is a soul dance. This is your soul dancing with God. I know some of you rarely dance or barely dance. Your spiritual life feels cracked and dry, or dry and dead, or dead and gone. It's hard to dance in the wilderness. It's hard to dance when your feet won't leave the ground. It's hard to dance when you don't trust your partner to lead. But King David did it. He danced before the Lord. He danced with the Lord. He wasn't perfect, far from it. His sins were many and great, and yet he was loved by God and chosen by God and used by God to do great things because he wasn't afraid to dance. My friend Anna did it too. She danced before the Lord and with the Lord. She was so moved by the Spirit of God that she couldn't sit still, not in church. So every Sunday she would step back into the entryway and she would dance. I got to watch her from the pulpit as she danced in the back, and I often thought our places should be changed. For the one not afraid to dance with God should be leading the one who led in fear. We need not be afraid to dance with the one who made us. We need not be afraid to dance with the one who claims us. We need not be afraid to dance with the one who created us for the dance. Pardon me, but may I have this dance, God says. May I have this dance, God pleads. May I have this dance, God begs.